to the hey, all you sports fans out there in the tubosphere, to you, the individual, as part of the collective. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Rack Highlights here on Talk Radio version of the OMSR. I am, as always, your brief but very concise host, Will the Alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. Always do a little voiceover intro show like this, let you know the clip order coming up. And the whys to wherefore. So as promised, I've been double timing it, trying to catch up on, especially record-wise, with the ball clubs in the major leagues. Alright, so this is going to be a baseline show, a lot to go through, parts 1 through 3, so pay attention, please. Part 1, Ron Zimmer's death, White Sox versus Dodgers. Giants and the Reds, Vogelsong's tune, sounding good. Part 2, Royals and the Cardinals. The A's rocking it, especially dude, I want to say Escardillo. You'll see that in the title. Don't have the name exactly correct here. Got a whole page of notes worth. Yankees talked about. And then in part 3, Angels and Astros. Angels got a good record going on. Toronto and Detroit, the battle of the Cabreras. Boston, Cleveland, Manziel trying to bring out the crowd, but it didn't necessarily work out. And also you got Baltimore, Texas, Seattle, Atlanta. Part 3, you get most of your highlights, but they're in shorter snippets. Oh, thank you. Great timing there. Quickie Sport Rant of the segment is going to be about personal anecdotes. Forgot about Ron Zimmer, but you always pay attention to the World Series. Like that. And hello, Toronto. The fans need to start filling up that dome because they are still kicking ass. In the meantime, roll clips.
NL Central facing the Royals, and Adam Wainwright on the mound against KC. We always say he has no hit stuff, and clearly he was showing it early on against the Royals.
Well, you had to be worried if you're Kansas City. Coming off the last start that Adam had where he really struggled, you knew he was going to come out here tonight with the eye of the tiger. And I tell you what, he pitched a fantastic ball game.
Hitting his spots in this one helped.
Hitting his spots and the ability of expanding the zone with 2 strikes. We saw him throwing that cutter, throwing that breaking ball down his zone, and he was amazing tonight.
Wainwright no-hitter through 5 that got broken up in the 6th. 9th inning, Wainwright still on the mound. We're up 2-0, 0-2 count. They'll get Eric Hosmer, but the ball gets by Yadi Molina, and the throw to first will not be in time.
You don't see that happen very often. That was a tough bounce for Gotti, too. He wasn't able to deaden the baseball to give himself a chance to make a throw.
And then Billy Butler based it up the middle, so Wainwright gets pulled. Trevor Rosenthal will come off with a save. Wainwright, 8 innings, 4 hits, and 8 Ks. Later in the ninth, the Royals are down 2-1, 1 away, runners in the corners, and Lorenzo Cain delivers. The Royals tie the game at 2.
Well, it's a tough pull there by Matheny with Wainwright. You know he wants to finish off what he started, and Rosenthal's had his issues from time to time, and left the fastball out over right there, Cain.
Top of the 11th, runner on second, 1 away for Matt Carpenter. Base hit to center off Kelvin Herrera. Peter Borges scores. Carpenter 5 for 5, his first career 5-hit game.
He hasn't been as productive at the top of the lineup as they needed. Certainly nothing close to last year, particularly in terms of extra base hits. Getting him going will help the offense tremendously.
Later in the inning, that's Alan Craig, a 2-run single.
And getting him going is the key for the Cardinals. Alan Craig, with men in scoring position, he's been struggling the whole season. Last year he was great. They need him to get hot.
You see Holiday there tagged out, but either way, the Cardinals take it. 5-2 is the final. So Wainwright was exceptional. Bullpen blows it, but they end up prevailing in 11. Nisek picking up his first save of the season. You see Carpenter's line really standing out. Molina also went 2 for 5 in this. Baseball Tonight is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. I'm Dan Burton. I'm hanging out with my buddies. Eric Wedge, Keith Law, Alex Cora, Derek Teeter. He's a friend of the program. You'll see later. He talked to Rick Sutcliffe. Bottom of the 3rd, runners in 2nd and 3rd. Jeter to short. He beats the throw to the infield single as Ichiro scores.
Yeah, he's still getting down the line.
He is indeed. Yankees up 1-0. Jacoby Ellsbury, 3rd home run of the season. Yankees up 4-0.
And they need him to get going. I mean, Ellsbury, we know he can hit home runs at that stadium. He showed it 2 years ago with Boston. He needs to get going like that.
Especially if they're asking him to hit 3rd or 4th in the lineup, which they have.
Here come the A's. Yoenis Cespedes. He felt it. He rolled with it.
Well, that's a left-handed breaking ball down and away, and he got after it and hit it to dead center a long way. You really got to do a lot of things right to hit the ball that way.
11th home run of the season. Then the top of the 6th. A's down 4-2. Cespedes off Matt Daly. That's only a home run in the Yankee Stadium.
when he hit it. I mean, slide it down our way, fly ball to right field, home run. Oh, lucky me.
12th homer of the season, second of the game. Game 7, we're now tied at 4, top of 7 rather. Josh Donaldson up Jose Ramirez. Donaldson's 16th home run of the year.
Second pitch of the game. Second pitch his call on for Ramirez. Just leaves one out over the plate for Donaldson, who's still one of the most underrated players in the league.
I believe he's leading in WAR last time I checked. A's win at 7-4.
The only stat that matters.
Absolutely. Why not? A's takers, they beat the Yankees again. They
37 and 22.
37 and 22 this season.
Yeah, we're thinking the same way. That's a gosh darn good record this time of year.
Donaldson, the 4th career go-ahead home run in the 7th inning or later, second time this season.
I think we just fight. I mean, today is a perfect example of how we play the game. We get down 4-0 pretty early. And just continue to grind on pitchers, and we were able to get the starter out in the 5th inning, and I think that shows a lot about our lineup. We've been put in that situation before. I just think it just goes to show the kind of guys that we have here to keep fighting.
You see him chatting up our friend Pedro Gomez there. Let's go inside the diamond, Eric, on Cespedes, and what makes him so good.
Well, the way he's out over the plate here, and that breaking ball from the left-hander down the way, for him to go out there and cover that and hit it to dead center without trying to pull it and pop it up, it's a sign of a real good hitter. Now, this is just pure strength here. You can see his behind's in the third base coach's box. He's out there, but he still barrels it up and just muscles it out to right field. Obviously, the ballpark helps him a little bit right there.
No question about that. He saved his best for the Bronx. 56 career plate appearances against the Yankees. Cespedes has 17 hits, 6 of which are home runs. In other words, he's homered nearly 3 times as often against the Yankees against all other teams. And I mentioned the A's and a sparkling run differential. So far, they're taking care of business against the very good teams. And we've seen this before. A's have a good regular season. They stumble in the playoffs. Does this year feel different to you, Alex?
They're going to let us know in October. I mean, we know what they can do in the regular season. They've done it for a few years now. This ain't surprising. The way they build it, this team, they can play defense, they got offense, good pitching, they believe in the minor league system. They're going to do it all through 162 games. The A's are going to do it. When they get to the playoffs, we'll see.
And I think part of why we might have some optimism for October is that they're beating good teams, they're beating good pitchers now. And a lot of how they're doing that, too, is, and I've mentioned this on last night's show, they're using platoon situations to their advantages, getting the right-handed hitters up or getting the, playing ground ball versus fly ball hitters in certain situations, just trying to maximize all of the skill sets that they have on the roster right now. And that will play in October just as well as it plays in May.
And I think the experience that they've gained the last couple of years, I think the confidence level that they have right now, they're not an unknown anymore. And they're still going out there and beating good clubs. One of the best records in baseball, facing clubs that are 500 or over. So I think all these things give them a legitimate chance to win in the postseason.
And we'll see. I'll say this for the Yankees, too. They've lost 4 straight times season high, so they have not played well against a good team. So
going on there. I misspoke. Don Zimmer. Now, recall the World Series. The Yankees were always in the midst of, in the middle 90s. That dude was always to the left, Joe Torre's right, but our left on the TV screen, well, they always went to the dugout to give a shot of the managers. Between play, you know how baseball is. There's always cutoffs, and if you had to write baseball the way all the camera angles change in the game, you'd end up with a 300-page script. But that was him. He seemed to enjoy his tobacco quite a bit, I remember as well. And then as far as Toronto goes, doing quite well without Escandardito. Sorry, a lot of times I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrect, but he has been the face of Toronto, except on this profile in Week 10, who had nothing to do with their win. And you look at Toronto's home games, especially if it's a night game, pretty big-ass stadium / dome in the major leagues, one of the largest, I submit, or suggest to you. When are more baseball fans going to come out? Although I will say, a lot of these highlights I've noticed more this year than on last year's, say like at this time, week 9, 10, or however many weeks I did profiles on, updates as far as the records go, to show or profile who is going to get into the playoffs, because it's a much smaller fraternity in the major league than any of your other professional sports. And the stadiums seem to be a little bit more full this year. I don't know what's going on. It's an interesting trend to take note of. All the video highlights courtesy to MLB vis-a-vis ESPN and baseball tonight. By the way, you may have seen that graphic, 25 years. It's one of their original shows since ESPN launched. Faces may have changed, but the concept remains the same. Gotta love that alliteration. Everything else, to the OMSR. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching those silly DUIs while you're out there celebrating the finals. We are later out of here.